St Mirren, well, they are struggling this season. After winning the Scottish League Cup, a joyous occasion for the Buddies, they have won just 2 league games since, and they find themselves 10th in the SPL with real danger of relegation this season. Manager Stephen Robinson has just jumped ship to Aberdeen as well to make matters worse, and now the Buddies are in need of a new manager to guide the club to safety and more. And that is where we come in, boys. Today we are becoming the St Mirren manager. We need to stabilise the club, and in the long term we'll be looking to win the Buddies a Champions League trophy, but this is not going to be easy. And if you do enjoy the content, boys, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It does really help me out. So let's waste no further time. Let's get into FC26 and save the Buddies. So the contract is now signed and we are the new boss at St Mirren, replacing exiting manager Stephen Robinson. And I've actually got a special guest for you in this video, boys. I know, the first of a time on the channel. My cousin's come along for the rebuild. I've had this spot for 8 days. I've tried everything and it won't go. So it's sticking here for the full rebuild, unfortunately. As we look to St Mirren's team, honestly, for an SPL side, not bad. Not bad at all. And St Mirren fans, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. As you know, I'm a Bolton Wanderers fan, and 3 former Bolton players currently play for St Mirren. They've got Declan John, who was a good player for Bolton, to be fair. They've got Dan Lunderloo, who I know he's doing well for St Mirren in real life, but this guy, wow, he was bad at Bolton. And St Mirren actually have the worst player to ever put on a Bolton shirt, Keone Tete. I don't care how he's doing in Scotland, this guy is not a professional footballer. His first touch is like a trampoline. His only involvement in a Bolton shirt was giving away a penalty away at Reading on his debut. Any Rotherham fan, any Bolton fan will tell you this guy is horrible footballer. And if you're a young aspiring player watching this video, if Keone Tete can get a professional contract, so can you. But there are some really decent players in St Mirren's team, which makes me think we can do better than 10th. Mark O'Hara, 29-year-old, 68 rated, fantastic player. Keanu Bacchus, 27-year-old, 66 rated. In his second stint in a St Mirren shirt, this guy's a fantastic player. And they have also got Killian Phillips, 66 rated, 23-year-old, another good young player. But speaking of young players, the squad isn't exactly booming with young talent. They've got Jacob Devaney in on loan from Man United, 18-year-old, 63 rated. He is someone we may look to make into a permanent signing. Miguel Freckleton's a decent young player as well, at 21-year-old and 63 rated, who's a little bit versatile. And they have got a decent young striker, Jake Young, quite literally a young striker. Now, this is not our first rodeo when it comes to rebuilds in Scotland. We've actually done quite a few, and we will be doing every single Scottish team before the end of FC26. What's one common theme, boys, that we have in every SPL rebuild? Shocking budgets. We're starting off with £1 million. That's less than League 2 clubs get. We are going to be scraping the barrel when it comes to signings in this rebuild. We're going to have to utilise the free agent market and make really smart loan to buy signings. So I'm going to switch up the way we're going to play with St Mirren. I don't really want to go over 5 at the back. So we have switched the team up and we've gone with a 4-3-3 holding system, which has allowed us to get younger players straight into the team. Now, there's no live start points in the Scottish Premiership, and I hope this isn't a sign of things to come. We're kicking things off bottom in alphabetical order, which does mean something that we don't get to do often. We can make signings in season number 1, but with only £1 million in the bank, potentially contracts to renew, and I want to do some youth scouting, we're going to be stuck to free agents, boys. And we're going to hope to find a new first choice winger on the free agents list, preferably a left winger. So there'll just be the one free agent signing in this transfer window. The player we've signed does come in and instantly become our best player, as we complete the signing of Vladislav Veletin on a 5-year deal. He's 22-year-old, he's 70 rated, he has come in and instantly become the best player at the club. But given the fact he's getting paid 5.8 grand a week, he's using up a lot of our budget, so there'll be no further signings in this transfer window. So just the one change to the starting 11, and it's a very good change at that, with Veletin coming in on the left wing. We are going to lock the starting 11 in for season number 1. As long as we finish anywhere above 10th, better than St Mirren are doing in real life, that's a bonus, because you actually can't get relegated in FC26. So we are going to get some youth scouting done in season 1, but unfortunately we've only got a 1-star scout, and we always let you guys pick the nations we scout in FC26. So for this season we are going with this comment, and we are going to be scouting for goalkeepers in Costa Rica, but bearing in mind we've only got a 1-star scout, probably not going to find any. So season 1 is now completed, and our starting 11 has seen some significant growth, with Phillips reaching 70 rated and Veletin now at 74 rated. Is that implying we've had a really strong season? We're going to find out in a second. However, going forward, our defence and goalkeeper are going to need some improvements. So I think going into season number 2, we're going to be improving our defence. In terms of stats this season, obviously Vladislav Veletin was our best player, turning out to be an incredible free agent signing. He got 17 goals and 6 assists. Jake Young when McMenamin had good seasons as well, we weren't really too prolific in front of goal. Now, the Scottish Premiership is split into two stages, the first stage and the second stage, and overall we finished 8th in the league out of all the sides on 40 points total, which really is poor. We only scored 47 goals and we had a minus 16 goal difference. Rangers go on to win the Scottish Premiership. A lot of work to be done next season because this is really, really poor. But we've only gone and won the Scottish Cup in season number 1, lads, beating Celtic 3-2 in the final. We instantly had a Scottish Cup to our trophy cabinet, and if I'm right in thinking, St Mirren beat Celtic in the Scottish League Cup final in real life. A little bit of real life has found its way into FC26, and I think this brings Conference League football to us next season. Now, we do have a small issue. We're losing our first choice goalkeeper, Shamal George, is only in on loan, and Jacob Devaney is going back to Manchester United. We're also going to be releasing Scott Tanzer, Mikael Mandron and Danon Lundalu, because I feel like we have better options in the squad than these players. So we have now arrived in season number 2, lads, and we're going to have a lot of transfer activity to do in this transfer window. We've got a lot of players to replace, and we're going to need a new goalkeeper and some reinforcements into our defensive line, maybe even a new right winger as well, as McMenamin is 30-year-old and 63 rated. So we need a big budget, which we're not going to get. How much have we got in the bank? £3 million. Not a good budget at all, boys. And if I'm being honest, we're going to get nowhere in this rebuild of a one-star scout. We're going to have to sack him and improve in this department, because the youth academy in these rebuilds does always really help us out. So who can we afford to get? We've got 3.4 million. I want to try and get a nice and balanced scout, but I don't want to spend loads of money, as I want to bring some new coaches and I do want to make at least 3 or 4 new signings for the club. I'm going to go for Christian Nowakowski, boys. He's only going to cost 160 grand. He's not going to find us loads of players, but at 3-star judgment, he's going to help us find some better quality players. And let's waste no time in getting our youth scouting done for season 2. Once again, we're using your recommendations, and if there is a nation you want me to scout in FC26, the best place to let me know is in the comment section down below. So for this season, we are going to be using this comment and we are going to be scouting in Trinidad and Tobago, and our defence is the worst part of the club at the minute, so we're going to be looking for defenders. Hopefully we can find at least one who's got a chance of breaking into our team. Now on to signings. I'm going to be looking to sign the new goalkeeper, centre back, left back and right winger, and I also want to bring Jacob Devaney back to the club on loan from Manchester United. But first, let's just check something. Did we qualify for Europe by winning the Scottish Cup? Yes, we did, boys, and we are actually in the Europa League, which should bring a quite significant chunk of money into the club. But we're currently in talks to make our first signing of the transfer window, and it's Bailey Rice in on loan from Rangers. We want to get him on a 2-year loan with an optional future fee. At 65 rated and 19-year-old, very good young player. Devaney's wages at Manchester United had increased. Now, Rangers want us to play a significant chunk of Bailey Rice's wages, but we have agreed a 65%. And they only want us to play 1.15 million. This is an accept. This is our first signing completed. Bailey Rice is now a buddy. And we've identified 2 free agents we definitely want to sign in this transfer window. The first is Valentin Antov, 25-year-old, 69 rated centre-back with loads of play styles, and he can grow up to 78 rated. We've also identified a goalkeeper from the free agents list, Fancundo Singunete, 25-year-old, 71 rated, would be the second best player at the club. Very decent goalkeeper who can also grow to 78 rated. And these 2 25-year-olds would definitely give us a much more solid defence going into season 2. The first player through the door is Valentin Antov, boys, who joins on a 4-year contract. And our new number 1 has been secured. Facundo Sanguinetti joins the club. However, he would only sign a 2-year deal. I wonder if this has got anything to do with the beautiful weather Scotland experiences for 11.5 months a year. And swiftly moving on, we've agreed another loan to buy, this time with Trevan Sanusi of Newcastle United, who's 19 years old and 66 rated, paying 50% of his 19 grand a week, and we can get him on a permanent deal in 1 season's time for 1.35 million. This is an excellent deal for an excellent young winger. He's going to be a great replacement for McMenamin. And believe it or not, we've actually managed to make a cash signing in this transfer window as we complete the signing of Barnsley left back Georgie Gent, who joins the Buddies for 1.5 million. He is 22 years old, 67 rated, has got upwards of 77 potential, and he is actually a decent left back. Big upgrade on Declan John, and the signing of Gent will be our final incoming of season number 2. In terms of incomings though, 5 new faces in at the Buddies. Hopefully we can get into the top 6 next season. But there has been 4 outgoings as well in this transfer window. Jamal Rowe-Calvin, Malik Jeek-Steele, Liam Donnelly all leave the club for fees, whilst the youngster Angus Scott does go out on loan. Rounding off what I think's been a very successful transfer window. As we know, lock our starting 11 in for season number 2. We've made some very significant improvements. So let's get the season done and dusted. I just want to improve on an 8th place finish and maybe even not lose every game in the Europa League. So season 2 is now completed. We've actually got a really decent team on paper. Loads of players over 70 rated, with Velleton and Sanguinetta looking like fantastic players for SPL level. So the team's growing and getting better, and we do look like we're scoring more goals. Velleton was our best player, 22 goals and 10 assists. Jake Young got 18 and Sanusi got 16, and we will be making Sanusi's loan into a permanent deal from Newcastle United. He looks like a fantastic player. And we've had a very good season in the SPL, a 7th place finish, topping the second stage bottom group on 59 points. And if we look at the total points tally of every single team in the league, we technically have finished 4th in the league. If it wasn't separated into 2 stages, we could have had Conference League football next season, which is a little bit disappointing. Now, unfortunately, we would not qualify for the Europa League phase. We lose 3-2 on aggregate to Dynamo Kiev, which would see us drop into the Conference League, of which we would scrape through the league phase, finishing 21st, getting into a playoff game where we took on Panathinaikos and beat them 2-1 in a famous European tie. We would be drawn against Frankfurt in the round of 16, and that was a step too far. They beat us 4-3 on aggregate. We pushed them all the way. I'm so proud of our performance in Europe this season. So we have arrived in season number 3. What kind of budget are we working with? Well, we've got £5 million in the bank, which is a big increase on last season. As we know, you just don't get money in the Scottish Premiership. Now, where do we want to improve the team this season? Well, first things first, let's make Sanusi's loan into a permanent deal. Then I'm looking at players who are not 70 rated. So we're looking at players like Richardson and Jake Young, who could need to be replaced. We will look on the free agents list. We'll look on the loan list. We're probably not going to be able to spend a large chunk of money on transfers. We're going to have contracts to renew this season, but let's just get Sanusi signed up permanently. He's worth 4.2 million. He is on 19 grand a week, which means he could want a big contract, to be fair. We can buy him for just 1.35 million though, which is a fantastic deal for the guy. I've just seen he's on 39 grand a week at Newcastle. He said he was on 19 grand. Right, let's see if we can make it happen. Can't give him, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to give him. Let's sign a 5-year deal. I really want to make this signing happen, but I can't give him my entire bank account when it comes to wages. Even if I give him 20 grand, it uses up so much of our budget. I'll try it. Oh my god, it's literally using up all of our budget. Is he worth 26 grand a week and 240 grand bonus? I'll offer it him, see if he accepts it. And he does accept it. Sanusi is in. It's a fantastic signing. It's used up half of our transfer budget. Now, first signing of the transfer window has been completed, as a free agent striker is in at St Mirren. As Marco Mahoney joins the club on a free contract on a 4-year deal, and he brings championship and League One experience to the club. 69 rated, 22-year-old with decent stats, and he can grow up to 78 rated. Very happy with this signing. And swiftly moving on, we bring a new centre-back from the club once again from the free agents list, as we complete the signing of Giorgio Cittadini on a 4-year contract. 25-year-old, 70 rated with decent defensive stats. Let's not talk about his passing and dribbling though, or his pace. As far as a free agent goes, he'll do a job for a couple of seasons, but it's clear to see we need some significant investment into our defence. So 3 new signings so far. I do think all 3 players improve our team. We've only got 2 million in the bank, and I really don't know what to do with this money. We only found 1 decent youngster in Trinidad and Tobago, Billy Hutchinson, and that's mainly down to our scout. We're going to try and loan him out this season. And we have made what's going to be our final signing of season number 3, and it's probably our most high profile signing to date, as we complete the signing of right back Lewin Bloom, and he joins us on a 3-year contract. He's 25 years old, 73 rated, can play at both sides of the back 4, and he's got very good stats. This is a huge upgrade in the right back position, and we have only got $1 million left in the bank. We're going to struggle to do anything else in this window. And with our signings completed, this is going to be the St Mirren team to take us into season 3, which we are going to be locking in for the new season. Now we need to sort our youth scouting out, and for this season we are going with this comment, and we are going to be scouting in the Republic of Ireland. And we're going to be looking for defenders and centre mids again. I feel like that's where we're lacking the most in the squad. So as season 3 comes to a close, our starting 11 is now starting to look very good on on paper. We have an 80 rated player in Velatin out at right wing. Sanusi and Bloom have had good seasons in terms of growth, with Sanguinetti now 76 rated. This is a decent team, boys, and if we haven't got in the top 6 this season, I'm going to be really disappointed. And if the stats are anything to go off, Marco Mahoney had a great debut season as a buddy, 28 goals and 3 assists, where Velatin and O'Hara did add some goals from midfield as well. Going off the stats and growth alone, I think we have got into the top 6. Before we check, we will have 2 players leaving the club at the end of the season. Connor McMenamin and Declan John will both be released, and at the start of season number 4, we will have to make Bailey Rice's loan into a permanent deal. But let's waste no more time. Let's see how we've actually done in the league. And we've only gone and finished 3rd in the league, boys. We are still 11 points off the top 2, but we have seen a massive improvement in terms of form. We're a top 6 side. I think we've qualified for the Europa League, which should bring some much needed funds into the club. However, I do think we're a little bit away from making cash signings so far. And in the Scottish Cup, we would reach the semi-finals, but we lost to Hearts 3-2, setting up a Hearts v Livingston final. No Celtic, no Rangers. That's crazy. As we arrive in season number 4, we're greeted with a £6 million transfer budget. It's probably not enough to make any cash signings, to be fair. However, we have got the chance to sign Bailey Rice on a permanent deal. 21-year-old, 74 rated, worth 9 million. We can buy him for just 1.1 million, but 100% going to make this deal happen, and we'll definitely be able to afford his contract. And Bailey Rice is now officially a buddy on a 5-year contract. And to be honest, this was the most important signing we could possibly make in season 4. Now, we've only got £4 million remaining in the bank, and we are going to need some signings, boys. I'm going to be looking to replace O'Hara and one of Antov or Cittadini, just purely because O'Hara's 32, not going to grow by much more, and the same can be said for Cittadini and Antov. They've got like 78 potential, but if I can get a younger, better player into the club, I definitely will do. And we're going to be looking to either loan these players in or get them off the free agents list. And we are kicking off season number 4 with a very impressive centre-back signing from the free agents list, as we complete the signing of a back Casilla on a 4-year contract. The Ivorian is 25-year-old and 76 rated, with very, very good stats, and he instantly becomes one of our best players. So it looks like we're going to be getting a new central midfielder, lads. Jeremiah Mensah looks set to join us on a 2-year loan, and we're just about to work the optional future fee out, but we have to actually manually input the fee, which I always hate to do because they could just walk out of the deal. Right, that works out well for us. Jeremiah Mensah will be joining St Mirren on a 2-year loan. We're going to pay 55% of his wages, and in 2 seasons time we can buy him for 3.5 million with a 20% sell on. Fantastic deal, great young player with up to 85 potential, and I'm more than happy to accept this deal. We've now got a fantastic central midfielder incoming. I mean, looking at his stats, boys, can't be denied this is a fantastic signing. I just hope in 2 seasons time we're getting Champions League money into the club, so we don't have to worry about making his signing permanent. And I have seen this free agent, boys, Jakob Scholler, who is 22-year-old, 71 rated, with decent stats, and I think he can grow to 81 potential. He's slightly better than Valentin Antov. If we look at Antov, he's 27 years old and 73 rated. I'm going to make a difficult decision to sign Scholler and make him our starting centre-back. And Scholler does sign for the club. He joins us on a 5-year contract. And we still have £3 million remaining in the bank. Now, our youth scouting has not really gone to plan in this rebuild so far. We've only managed to promote 3 young players to the first team. They're all currently out on loan, but if we look to the stats of the players and their ages, it doesn't look like any of these 3 are going to break into the first team. What does that mean? It means our youth scouts are just not doing the job. I'm thinking about spending 750 grand on Scottish scout Urori Montgomery, who is an improvement on our other scout. Going to use up a lot of our budget. I don't mind. We need to start finding some better players, boys. And when it comes to youth scouting this season, we do always need to scout the host nation, to be fair, and today that is Scotland, of course. And you know what? I'm going to be looking for goalkeepers. Trying to get a goalkeeper on the cheap in future seasons is going to be really difficult. If we can get a goalkeeper in with good potential, we can get into the starting 11. That's going to save me a lot of time and money later. And we're not in the Europa League this season. We are in the Conference League, and I actually think we can do quite well in that competition. Maybe try and get to the quarterfinals or something, which would bring some much needed money into the club. However, enough talk. Let's lock the starting 11 in for season number 4. Let's simulate forward straight through to the end of season number 4 as well. So season 4 is now completed, and as we can see by looking at the team, a few more players have reached 80 rated in Sanusi and Bailey Rice. Velatin has grown to 83 rated, and there's no one in the starting 11 below 75 rated, which is always good news. The team's looking really strong. However, looking forward, our bench and reserves aren't really looking looking the strongest, that may be where we look to improve the team next season. As we look to the stats, Vladislav Veletin was our best player, getting 32 goals and 13 assists, really earning the 83 rated overall. He is probably one of the best players in the SPL. O'Mahony, Mensah and Sanusi all got double figures for goals as well. Looking at our output in front of goal, I'm confident we've had a very good season. But maybe that confidence was misplaced, boys, because we've actually regressed and finished 4th in the league. Now, we did get 3 more points than we got last season, but I think this means we don't even have any European football for season number 5, which is going to affect our budget. Wow, work to be done next season. But thankfully, we have won the Scottish Cup, beating Rangers 4-2 in the final, our second Scottish Cup of the rebuild in the trophy cabinet. And the last time we won the Scottish Cup, that put us into the Europa League. Hopefully, it's done the same again. But we've now arrived in season 5, and I'm not confident of a massive budget, but we do get 8 million, which is our biggest budget today. Probably still means we can't make any cash signings, unfortunately. And luckily, we can still wait another season before we have to sign Jeremiah Mensah, which does save us some money. However, we do have quite a few contracts to renew, and our young academy players have come back from their loans, and it's actually good news. Angus Scott is 20-year-old and 67 rated, whereas Il Young Ro is 21-year-old and 69 rated. These two players can definitely do a job for us from the bench, so they won't be going back out on loan. They're going to be involved with the first team this season. And our scouting mission in Scotland was very successful. We've got Arthur Main in our academy, who's got 87 to 93 potential and a 5-star weak foot, but he's only 53 rated and 15-year-old. We do need to get him out on loan when he turns 16. I reckon by season 6, maybe season 7, he could be our starting goalkeeper. Now let's get the scouting done straight away for season number 5. And for this season, we will be using this comment. We are going to be scouting Kenya. We've spent quite a lot of time in this rebuild so far looking for defence-minded players. We're looking for attackers and centre mids in the upcoming season. But as we don't have the best budget, we are pretty much stuck to free agents and loans again this season. And our starting 11 is looking strong. I'm going to scan the free agents list to see if I can sign anyone who could improve our team. But the main area of the team I'm going to be looking to improve this season is definitely the bench. So we're kicking off the transfer window with 2 free agent signings. The first is a backup winger, João Grimaldo, 26-year-old, 77 rated. He's got amazing stats. Pretty mad to think he's going to be a rotation player for us. And we've signed a new starting striker, boys, and it is our first regen of the rebuild. Junior Marchand joins us on a 5-year deal. He's 18-year-old, 75 rated with really good stats, and he's also an exciting prospect. The guy was just too good to turn down, boys. That is why we've signed him. And this is how committed I am to making this rebuild enjoyable. And you will never know how close I was to signing this player I found on the free agents list. Marius Krupa, 21-year-old, 85 rated, 6'6", probably one of the best young goalkeepers in the game, worth 44 million. I was this close to signing him, but I thought, no, I'll not sign an 85 rated goalkeeper off the free agents list. That is cheating a little bit. I just know for a fact in like 2 seasons time, I'm going to look back on this moment with loads of regret. So we've signed 2 further free agents, lads. A backup goalkeeper in Matthew Cox, who's 26-year-old and 73 rated. Big upgrade as a backup keeper. We've also signed a backup central midfielder who's very versatile, Lawrence Ajayikum, 25-year-old, 74 rated. Good player on paper, and he has still got a little bit of room to grow as well at 25 years old. So we've only managed to sign 3 agents in this transfer window. At this stage of the rebuild, £8 million is getting us nothing other than free agents, unfortunately. Now, what my plan is to do with the remainder of our money, we're going to see how our season progresses, and we may look to make Jeremiah Mensah's loan into a permanent deal at some point this season. And 5 players leave the club in this transfer window. Miguel Freckleton, Jake Young and Alan Campbell all sold for fees, where Billy Hutchinson and Il Young Ro go out on loan. That's going to round off our transfer window, lads. No more incomings or outgoings. This is going to be the St Mirren team to take us into season number 5. No real change or to change up front, but our bench is looking significantly stronger going into season number 5, which I'm hoping can help push us back into the top 3. We have arrived at the end of season number 5, and looking at our team, we must have one of the strongest teams in Scotland. Only 4 players in our starting 11 are now below 80 rated, and this team on paper, I think, would cut it in the Champions League. But looking to the stats, Junior Marchand's first season was very, very good. 30 goals and 12 assists, plus 7 overall growth. Mensah hit 20 goals, and Veletin and Sanusi had really good seasons as well. But has this been enough to secure Champions League football for the Buddies? It has, boys, as we win the SPL on goal difference, finishing plus 10 goals better off than Rangers 3, and our superior goal difference thanks to our goals scored, sees St Mirren champions of Scotland for the first time, and that's an SPL trophy added to the trophy cabinet, along with Champions League football coming in season 6. And we've done the double, boys. We win our 4th Scottish Cup of the rebuild. We beat Celtic 2-0 in the final. What a season for St Mirren. Bring on season number 6. But before we head into season number 6, we did make Jeremiah Mensah's loan into a permanent deal for 3.5 million, saving us a lot of money in season number 6. So we have arrived in season 6, and we know the budgets in the SPL aren't the best, but this season we could really do with at least 20 million. And we've only got 13 million to prepare for the Champions League. Well, you can count out seeing any first teamers signed in this transfer window, that's for sure. What I am going to do with this money though, and this is a very good idea by the way, and there's not even a good scout, so my idea has gone straight out window. We are going to buy this scout Victor Vakturinen, no idea how you pronounce that name, for 2.2 million. He has got 5-star judgment, so we'll find higher quality of players. We're going to get him scouting in Scotland straight away. Hopefully we can find some players for our first team. And it's been a bit of a common theme in this rebuild, but our defence is the weakest part of our squad, so we're going to be looking for defenders and centre mids. I think if we look to our young players at the squad now, there's quite a few. Arthur Main's ready to go out on loan as well. Billy Hutchinson's grown. Rose now 72 rated. Scott's 70 rated. The academy is starting to feed the first team now, and I'm sorry, but £11 million, you're not buying anyone fit to start in the Champions League. It's going to be free agents again. I think in the next SPL rebuild, I may move the Scottish team into the English leagues just so we get more money, because this has pretty much been a free agent only rebuild, and I've had no intention of it being that. But boys, hold on a minute. We've found a first team signing. We found Jacob Ramsey on the free agents list. He's 29-year-old, 81 rated, fantastic player. Someone we could definitely take into the Champions League with us. We are 100% bringing him to St Mirren. And Jacob Ramsey signs for St Mirren on a 3-year contract, and he is going to help us out massively in the Champions League. We're 6 seasons in. We've got £11 million. We're going into the Champions League. We need a centre-back. An 84 rated 18-year-old centre-back. I know people aren't going to like it. I instantly know people aren't going to like it, and I know for a fact there's going to be at least one comment saying, you shouldn't have signed that centre-back, you're 84 rated. I'm signing him. I've made the decision. I'm signing him. And this is why I'm signing him. I'm going to show you why I'm signing him. That is why I'm signing him. And we get our man, boys. Oliver Frank is in. I genuinely think this is what tax evasion must feel like. Look at the guy. When a player like him comes along, we have to sign him. We already passed up signing an 85 rated goalkeeper. I said in 2 seasons time I'm going to regret that decision. I'm not making that decision with Frank. And to get Jacob Ramsey and an 84 rated centre back off the free agents list, I really can't ask for much more. And now all that we need to finish off the transfer window is a new backup right back. Our final signing of the season has been completed. We've brought a backup left back to the club as we complete the signing of experienced fullback Isaac Schmidt, and he signs a 2-year deal. And he is a decent fullback who can also play multiple positions. So we've arrived at the end of season 6, boys. Our team is looking absolutely amazing on paper. Our first 90 rated player is in Marchand, our striker. And there's only 2 positions I think we really need to improve in this starting 11. That's the goalkeeper and right back, because this is a very, very strong team. But if we look to the stats, Marchand was our best player, getting 35 goals and 10 assists. Sanusi, Velleton, Ramsey, Grimaldo and Mensah all get double figures for goals. That is really encouraging. Really intrigued to see how we've performed in the competitions this season. But we once again win the SPL, and we've won it in style. 94 points accumulated, 101 goals scored, only 2 games lost and 29 games won. I think that's a 2nd Scottish Premiership added to the trophy cabinet. We're really starting to dominate in Scotland. We wouldn't make the Scottish Cup final. We did lose to Celtic in the semis. We've already won loads of these trophies already anyway, so I'm not too fussed. And in the Champions League, we did reach the round of 16, but we lost to Man City 5-3 over 2 legs. That's a very difficult draw. One of the best teams in world football. I'm not too concerned about that. So we've arrived in season number 7, and we have been given 24 million, which is a very good budget for an SPL team. Are we going to sign anyone to improve our starting 11 with this money? Unfortunately not. We do need a right back or goalkeeper, so once again we are just going to have to check the free agents list. Our young goalkeeper Main has only grown to 64 rated. He's not yet ready to go into the first team. And looking at our on loan players, Hutchinson is back at 68 rated, not the best. Rose back at 74 rated. He will have a role to play this season. The rest of our loan players aren't really doing too much. So we have checked the free agents list, boys, and unfortunately we can't find anyone who can improve our team. So the free agents list hasn't delivered this season. But if we look to our bench, there's a few positions I would want to improve. Centre back and left back. Will there be someone on the free agents list who's good enough though I'm not too sure. It hasn't really been the best so far. So we've only managed to find one free agent worth signing. It is Tyler Binden, who's 26-year-old and 79 rated. We have used him a few times before in FC26. Decent player who's worth £15 million, and we are just going to bring him to St Mirren, and we are just going to bring him in to be a rotation option. And we do complete the signing of Tyler Binden. He will wear the number 6 shirt, but he only signed a 2-year deal. Now, to be honest with you, I think we're going to have a very quiet summer. While we have got some incredible players at the club who are worth over 100 million, like Sanusi, Bailey Rice, and Junior Marchand, my initial thought is I don't really want to sell them. These players are performing for us. And if you remember in previous rebuilds, there is a bit of an issue with the SPL where you might try and sign a player from Liga and the Premier League, La Liga. They just don't want to join a club in the Scottish leagues, and you end up really struggling to sign players for cash fees. And in all honesty, boys, I know it's very, very, very short, so I think I'm just going to lock the starting 11 in for another season. Hopefully we can see some growth from Sanguinetti and Bloom. I'm just going to simulate forward straight through to the end of the season. So we have arrived at the end of season number 7, and of course we are the champions of Scotland again, and we've once again done it in style, finishing 6 points clear of Celtic in second place, only losing 2 games all season. I think that's now 4 SPL trophies added to our trophy cabinet, and we're also going to be adding another Scottish Cup as we've beat Celtic 2-0 in the final. I think there's only been one season where we've not won this competition, and after 7 seasons as St Mirren manager, we have now reached the Champions League final. We will be taking on PSG, and to get St Mirren into a Champions League final in just 7 seasons, I actually think that's a really good achievement, especially considering our budgets. Now in the league phase, we finished 6th, which advanced us straight to the round of 16, where we took on Liverpool and beat them 3-1 over 2 legs. We will then take on PSV in the quarter-final, and we beat them 4-2 over 2 legs, setting up a semi-final with Aston Villa, who we would beat 6-1 over 2 legs, very convincing win, while PSG beat RB Leipzig. And we're once again going to be taking on our old foe PSG in the Champions League final, and the last time we played them, they actually beat us. We are taking a very strong team into the Champions League final. 3 players are now 90 rated, Sanusi, Marchand and Rice. A lot of high 80 rated players. My only concern about this team is our goalkeeper is only 83 rated. His stats are good, he's got 92 reflexes, and we've also got a decent bench as well with quite a few 80 rated players. Now when it comes to the stats, Junior Marchand has been absolutely unbelievable. 46 goals and 12 assists in 55 games, absolutely carrying us. A 21-year-old and 92 rated, this guy could go on to get to 99 rated for sure. Vellerton, Mensah, Sanusi and Ramsey all excellent as well. We really did score a lot of goals this season. Now when it comes to a Hall of Famer, I am going to give it to Junior Marchand, who has been an incredible free agent signing. Definitely deserves to be the Hall of Famer as we're heading to the Champions League final. We're taking on PSG. Now we know we've got a strong team on paper, but so have PSG. 90 rated attackers in Doué and Kvaratskhelia, and 85 rated regen. Loads of 90 rated players throughout the rest of the team. Now we're playing at Wembley Stadium. PSG knocked the ball straight out for a throw into us, which we'll take. Could you class Wembley as home advantage for St Mirren? It's not exactly in Scotland, but it is in the UK. You don't have to travel too far. I don't want to offend any Scotsman with that statement. That's a great ball by Marchand. Vellerton, this is a big chance. Nope. Saved, rebound, Mensah makes it 1-0 inside 10 minutes. Decent effort by Vellerton, good save by Costa. Mensah just unmarked, 6 yards out, never going to miss. First chance of the game and it's a goal. And that always steadies the nerves in a Champions League final. If you can score your first chance, you're laughing. Oh no, could be an instant response. Alvarado, what a save, Sanguinetti, get it out. Oh my god, if PSG would have equalised straight away. Look at the football from PSG. Oh, this could be a chance. Vitinha, what a goal. What a goal by Vitinha. You know what, boys? Sometimes you have to put your hands up and admire a really good goal, and that was fantastic. I mean, look at the one-touch pass in here from PSG. One touch from Vitinha, sends his man to the shop, and from the edge of the box, wraps it into the top corner. No, Vellerton, he's onside. He's onside. It's 2-1 to St Mirren. I was certain the flag were going to go up. He looked offside to me, I can't lie. What a game we have got on our hands here, boys. 2-1 to St Mirren. Vellerton with a goal. And when this pass is played by Marchand, I just thought Vellerton were offside, but he's not. I'll take it from the penalty spot straight into the top corner. What a finish. 2-1 to St Mirren, and that is half time, lads. 2-1 to St Mirren at the break. Very good game, loads of chances, some quality goals scored. Next goal in this final is going to be crucial. Shot from Kvaratskhelia wide. PSG's first real chance of the second half. That should be a goal kick. No, it's not. Whipped in. Clear that. Nope. Free header. What? A save by Sanguinetti with just 5 minutes to go. How important could that save be into the final couple of minutes, boys? That huge save from Sanguinetti looks like it could be the difference. To Barcola, big tackle by Frankie, just run it away, lad, and there is the full-time whistle, boys. St Mirren are the champions of Europe. How big was that save with 5 minutes to go from Sanguinetti? And all that is now left to do, boys, is lift the Champions League trophy, and St Mirren are the champions of Europe, and that is another rebuild successfully boxed off. So thank you for watching the video, boys. If you have enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe. We're getting so close to 10,000 subscribers, and I will see you in the next one. Another challenging rebuild on the way.